Coming up live at 2:30, a teenager is dead in Schenectady, what we know about the homicide.
And a look into the most recent Siena College polls, how the presidential candidates stand in key swing states.
And this week is Commuter Appreciation Week, what Siena is doing to honor their commuter students. SCTV Live at 2:30 begins right now.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Zbrowski.
And I'm Jake Salvi. A 15-year-old high school student was killed in a shooting on Congress Street in Schenectady.
Sadly, he was pronounced dead at the hospital. A 13-year-old girl was also shot during the incident but is currently in stable condition. Schenectady police are still investigating in partnership with the New York State Police. A Schenectady man is dead after being attacked by at least 8 dogs in Albany. Police tell us that 24 dogs were seized from the Central Avenue home and that the owner of the dogs may face charges. One of the dogs was fatally shot by an officer trying to save the man.
The 59-year-old victim was pronounced dead at the scene. The rest of the dogs have been taken to the Mohawk Humane Society until further notice. Albany Police Chief Eric Hawkins spoke in a press conference and said that there are still a lot of unknowns and that the investigation is still ongoing. Last night, Rossetti Hall held a lecture about election violence.
Traveling Quaker minister Emily Province stopped by campus to talk to the Siena community. She travels the world and helps diverse groups of people work together on things that they care about. Her current project focuses on issues that result in election violence and how to maintain peace in the upcoming election.
What's most important is first that you are willing to reach out to people who are different from yourself. You don't have to talk about politics, just have a relationship with them. And second, to really focus on absolute truth-telling, to not magnify rumors, to not say things that we don't know for sure are true, and to be honest about our own candidates and the other sides, whichever sides that might be.
With the November election just around the corner, she encourages students and faculty members to respond to election violence rather than try to prevent it.
A new poll from the Siena College Research Institute is shedding light on how the presidential candidates stand in important swing states.
In Arizona, former President Donald Trump leads the polls over Vice President Kamala Harris 51% to 46%, while in Pennsylvania, the Vice President has the edge over the former President 50 to 47%.
Do you have an interest in politics? If so, the Siena College Research Institute is looking for students to help out during election season.
SCTV's Kate Sweeney went to the Research Institute to learn more.
Heinz Hall has the chapel, the Office of Public Safety, but what most people don't know is about the Siena College Research Institute. Hidden in the basement of Heinz Hall, the SCRI is responsible for the Siena College poll, which is ranked #1 in the nation for polling accuracy. This is where you'll find students like Sean, with a headset on, ready to record some answers about public opinion. As this year marks his 4th year, Sean has plenty of experience in polling. Originally, Sean got involved in the SCRI as a side college job. Little did he know that he would take away a lot more than just a paycheck every week.
You know, I guess one of the big skills that we kind of learn here to deal with is the idea of public speaking, because although we're not in front of a crowd, we are always talking to somebody new, and you always want to talk with one clear voice to both articulate what you're trying to say and understand what the person over the phone is trying to tell you.
The Siena College Research Institute are always looking for new student employees. It's super easy to apply on Handshake with the flexible hours, the ability to gain experience, and lifelong skills like Sean has. The SCRI is definitely something to consider. I'm Kate Sweeney reporting for SCTV. Back to you.
The continuing conflict in the Middle East has become an important issue to many Americans when thinking about the election.
The crisis in Gaza and Lebanon has resulted in the deaths of over 43,000 people from both sides. Former President Trump has pledged to be a strong ally of Israel and help defend it. Vice President Kamala Harris has also come out in support of Israel, but is also calling for a ceasefire to end the suffering in Gaza. And former President Barack Obama is on the campaign trail in support of Vice President Kamala Harris.
The former president spoke to voters in Pennsylvania. He is urging black male voters to the ballot box this November. Pennsylvania is the first campaign stop for the former president as he tours the swing states. There was a petting zoo today on campus for all students to enjoy.
The Commuter Student Association presents Commuter Appreciation Week with a series of events for students to participate in. Earlier today, ducks, rabbits, goats, and a pony could be found in the quad for the students to pet. This is the first time Siena has hosted a petting zoo on campus. And yesterday, CSA hosted planters and painting.
All the supplies were provided for students. Everyone was invited to paint their own pot and choose their own succulent to bring some greenery back home with them. And to kick off Commuter Appreciation Week, CSA invited Kona Ice to campus.
Although it was not the warmest day, Siena students lined up to grab a snow cone from Kona Ice. They offered a variety of flavors for students to choose from. Cone Ice is a favorite treat of many saints.
The UHY held an admissions open house over the weekend. This was a 2-day event for potential new students to come in and see what life is like as a Saint.
The weekend included live panels, demos, food trucks, and more. It was a great way to display student life as well as answer any potential questions.
I mean, it's a really important day. For us as a college, but also the students that are coming. Sometimes this may be their first college tour. Sometimes it may be their fourth college tour. We just never know. But really just, putting on something like this, it shows what we're all about here at Siena.
Siena will offer another admissions open house at the beginning of next month. Today, the SSU is hosting a flu and COVID vaccine clinic.
The clinic is open to the entire Siena community and there are no appointments required. The event kicked off this morning at 10 and you still have time to go. The event wraps up at 3. The College of St. Rose has officially filed for bankruptcy. The college's board took a vote last Thursday to authorize the filing to the U.S. Bankruptcy Court.
This comes after the school announced in November of last year that they would be closing the door on students at the end of the academic school year. Siena College has stepped in, acquiring St. Rose bachelor's and master's programs, as well as hiring 3 full-time faculty members in the education department. Still to come, SCTV's Katie Rogers sits down with 2 former St. Rose professors who have joined the Siena community. Their thoughts on the closure of St. Rose are coming up right after the break.
Welcome back. Last year, the College of St. Rose's Board of Trustees voted to cease academic instruction, and less than a week ago, the college filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Siena College, along with the surrounding colleges, took on students, programs, and faculty to help ease St. Rose's departure. Today I'm joined by two St. Rose professors that joined Siena College at the start of this semester. Dr. Feister and Dr. Fragnoli, thank you so much for joining us today. So just to start off, how did you and your department react to this shocking news that St. Rose was going to be closing?
Well, I mean, it is a scary, intense feeling for students and faculty. And without any preparation or background knowledge, it took everyone by surprise. But Siena College has been a phenomenal place to transition to, and our students have been so lucky to be able to make this transition in such a supportive environment.
You know, and I would echo what Dr. Fragnoli said. You know, over the years, the last few years have been difficult at St. Rose. We knew that, money was getting really tight. But we weren't expecting the closure at that time. And it was really tough for students, for faculty, for staff members. But the fact that we were able to start working behind the scenes with Siena College very early, we weren't able to announce it until everything went through New York State and was approved and whatnot. But our department was able to start working with Siena behind the scenes very quickly after the announcement of the closure. And so it gave us a lot of hope last year, just knowing that that we had a good place to come to, and that as many of our students as wanted to would be able to come with us.
That's so great to hear. So in addition to being professors, you're both co-directors of the Birth to Grade 6 education program. Can you kind of elaborate on what that is and what it's meant to have that program come from St. Rose to Siena?
Yeah.
The program has been at St. Rose for so many years, and it has established a wonderful part in New York State, nationally, even internationally.
Yeah.
Our students have gone on to crazy countries to teach in. So we have alum all over, from Capital District, internationally. And it's just wonderful that we're able to bring our alum and all of our past students together and join them with the Siena Network. And now it's like a win-win when you take Siena Alum Network and ours together and be able to pull from both to help support our current students. It's a wonderful situation.
Yeah. So the Birth to Grade 6 program is certifying students to be teachers in New York State at two different certification levels: birth to grade 2 and then grades 1 through 6. So students are focused in elementary education, but also with that early childhood component. And some students have a preference one way or the other, but for marketability, it's really nice that they get both certifications. But yeah, that alumni network, we had an open house last weekend here on campus, and we had a couple of our alums who came back to help us out because they're alums of the program. So their program moved from St. Rose to Siena. And again, it's just been so positive. We have another event coming up in a couple weeks, and I was just checking in with one of our alums, and she's on board to participate in that. And then we have another event in mid-November, and one of our alums is going to be the moderator for that, for a speaker event on campus. So they're so excited that the program didn't end. It just continued in a new place with new students.
Of course.
We should also throw in that our Birth to Grade 6 is both undergrad and grad. So not only is it two certifications, but it's two programs.
Yep.
And additionally, what's really nice is if we have an undergrad student go through our Birth to Grade 6, graduate, we also now have graduate programs that the student can continue in and finish and complete their master's, which is required in New York State. So it's a full circle program, which is nice.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you mentioned you have two events coming up. Can you guys talk a little more, like what are these events and how can people get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the marketing is coming out on these, I think, very soon. I just saw the flyer is almost done, so stay tuned for that. On November 12th, there's going to be a panel presentation of folks who are in their first, second year as classroom teachers, and they're going to be coming here to campus to speak, so that'll be open for any students who want to come. And then November 13th, we're inviting area teachers and any students who would like to come. We're going to have table hosts, and we're going to have a series of conversations about things that are important to classroom teachers right now. It's going to be moderated by one of our alums, and Sofia Paljevic. She was a teacher for about 10 years, and now she's doing some consulting and some things like this. So she's going to be helping us to bring teachers to campus, and they're going to have an opportunity to share their best ideas. So it's going to be a professional development for teachers, but they're going to be sharing ideas, so it won't be somebody talking at them. It'll be a nice opportunity.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much for joining us here today. And if you want to watch this full interview after the show, you'll be able to find this on the Siena Communications page on YouTube. You can also find the interview on the SCTV Instagram page at sienacollege.tv. Make sure you follow and subscribe while you're there. Still more to come is Siena Sports on SCTV. Chris Hicks and Matthew Rao take us to the Dog Pound.
Coming up in sports, 2 New York teams clash in a primetime matchup Monday night.
Plus, the Mets hope to tie the series at 1 game apiece in Los Angeles. Sports is next on SCTV live at 2:30.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Hicks.
And I'm Matt Rowe. Welcome to the Dog Pound. The New York Mets hope to bounce back and even the series after a 9-0 loss in Game 1 to the Dodgers. In the top of the first inning, Francisco Lindor hits a hanging slider deep to right field and finds its way out of the ballpark. The Mets were looking to take an early lead after being shut out last night and did exactly that. It's 1-0 New York. In the top of the second, the Mets already scored a run, but Mark Vientos wants more. He sends a fastball out to right center field and carries over the wall for a grand slam. The second grand slam for the Mets this postseason allows them to jump out to a commanding 6-0 lead. In the bottom of the sixth, a solo homer by Max Muncy puts the Dodgers on the board, and Tommy Edman hits a ball through the right side for a base hit. 2 runners come in to score, and the Dodgers cut the deficit down to 3. It's 6-3 New York. The Mets add an insurance run in the top of the ninth as Edwin Diaz strikes out 3 in a row to get out of trouble and end the game. The Mets even the series 1-1.
The Mets will head back to New York to play on Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Fox. Moving on to the NFL, it was a Battle of New York on Monday Night Football as the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen, traveled to MetLife to play the New York Jets. The Bills, playing without running back James Cook, no problem. Josh Allen will do it himself to put Buffalo up by 4 with 6 minutes left in the first. About 4 minutes later, Rodgers drops back, escapes pressure, and finds Garrett Wilson, who makes an amazing grab, which was originally ruled incomplete but would be overturned to put the Jets up by 3. Jumping to the end of the half, the Jets now down by 10. With seconds left on the clock, Rodgers, with a desperation heave, finds the end zone in the hands of Alan Lazard, who makes a crazy grab, mossing 4 Buffalo defenders to shorten the deficit to 3 going into halftime. Now, with 2 minutes left in the game, Jets still down by 3, looking for a game-winning drive. Rodgers looks deep to Mike Williams, but the ball is underthrown and intercepted by the Bills' defense. Buffalo goes on to win a 23-20 nail-biter.
The Jets and Bills both made trades after Monday's game. The Jets acquired Devontae Adams from the Raiders, and the Bills traded for Amari Cooper from the Browns.
In Siena sports news, 2 men's soccer players have earned MAC Honors Awards. Dren DeBruno secured the MAC Rookie of the Week award for the 2nd week in a row, as well as his teammate Bennett Glinder earning the MAC Conference Defensive Player of the Week. That'll do it for This Week in Sports. I'm Chris Hicks.
And I'm Matt Rowe. Jake, Mike, back to you.
A late night in the Bronx as the New York Yankees hosted the Cleveland Guardians for Game 2 of the ALCS. The Yankees were looking to take a statement win before heading to Cleveland for Games 3, 4, and 5, and they did just that. A great offensive performance early on mixed with solid pitching on the mound from Garrett Cole would allow the Yankees to keep a lead. Aaron Judge ripped his first home run of the postseason to blow the game open for New York. They would go on to win 6-3. They will play Game 3 in Cleveland tomorrow at 5 p.m.
The annual Mohawk Hudson River Marathon and Half Marathon took place this past Sunday. The rain and cold weather did not stop the excitement from happening. Runners from all over the capital region came together to run this special event. Nearly 850 runners participated in the half marathon and 520 participated in the full marathon. The full marathon started off in Schenectady and the half marathon picked up in Cohoes, both ending in downtown Albany. Both races occur every October.
It's almost basketball season. Siena men's and women's basketball tickets are now on sale. You can find more information on game dates and prices at sienasaints.com/tickets. Students can also purchase the Dog Pound Season Pass, a one-time purchase for access to all Siena men's and women's home games. Info can be found at sienasaints.com/dogpound.
Coming up after the break, we look into the cleanup efforts after Hurricane Milton. Siena's 2-day climate symposium took place at the MAC. It was about sustainability, integral ecology, and climate justice.
All were invited to attend either in person or online. Many in the Siena community came out in support of curing the climate crisis, including Friars and Siena College President Chuck Seifert.
Everything that we're focusing on this conference or this symposium is really important for all of us. And the interesting part is it is at Siena, but it's not just for Siena. It's really important that this be a program that we're really looking to expand and develop and help all the different colleges and universities and honestly the world.
The event had a great turnout and brought attention to the important issue of climate change.
The events wrapped up with a closing prayer and climate plays in Roger Bacon. This is a great way to get more Siena students involved.
A short series of plays about climate change were written by Siena students, alumni, and local playwrights and were performed by fellow Siena students. It was a moving ending to the symposium. Hurricane Milton landed in Florida just days ago as a Category 3 storm.
The storm caused surges that went as high as 15 feet. Milton hit on the tail of Hurricane Helene, which also caused immense damage. Cleanup efforts are hindered due to widespread fuel shortages throughout the state of Florida. New York State Governor Kathy Hochul deployed 65 New York National Guard soldiers and airmen to assist in Florida's response to Milton. The recent hurricanes caused a lot of destruction and disaster in the South.
Some Florida residents reunited with the heroes who provided help throughout the chaos. SCTV's Laura Aguirre has the story.
Need some water? Storm recovery in the Southeast, moving forward, one carload of survival aid at a time. North Carolina's governor striking an optimistic tone Tuesday.
We have made significant progress in restoring power, water and cell service, opening roads, distributing critical supplies, and providing support to those who need it.
But challenges remain, he says, such as getting water service into devastated cities like Asheville. In Florida, fuel shortages and seaport damage had slowed recovery efforts.
We have been able to see fuel really rushing into the state from Port of Tampa. Canaveral has doubled what they normally do, and even Port Manatee, we got that back up and running.
But behind these larger progress headlines are smaller, equally important moments.
Hi.
Brandy Clark of Fort Pierce, Florida, thanking the woman she says saved her family's life during Hurricane Milton. Michelle Westfield happened to drive past Clark's house as the storm raged right into the path of an oncoming tornado.
Went flying backwards as fast as I could, laying on the horn and screaming.
I hear her scream, "Get in your house." No sooner than he shuts the door behind me, my house just started shaking. It was the craziest 15 seconds of my life.
Clark was able to track down her hero through social media.
She saved our lives. And no matter how much she won't accept it, you really did.
It's just an old lady who got really, really scared.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Still to come, therapy dogs visit Siena College campus. More on this after break. To finish out Commuter Appreciation Week, CSA is bringing therapy dogs and duck donuts to campus tomorrow. As Saints enter midterms, the dogs are there to help relieve stress. In addition, over 10 dozen donuts will be handed out. This is the second time that CSA has brought therapy dogs to campus, and the college is just as excited to welcome back their furry friends. The event starts at 4.
You know, having my dogs at home, it's always a great way to be less stressful, and this is a good way to, help out for midterms.
You're making me a little bit jealous. I grew up without a dog, but I love them so much, so this is definitely an event I'll be going to.
I want to go so bad, but I have work. But honestly, the donuts are they sound pretty good.
All right, and just a quick end before we go, a big happy birthday to Mike Zabrowski, our co-anchor. So happy birthday to Mike, big 21.
Thank you.
SCTV is wishing you happy birthday and many more. And that's all the time we have today. That's the time we have today. Thank you for joining us, SCTV Live at 2:30. You can find the Instagram, sienacollege.tv, or you can find us here on the Siena College Communications Program YouTube page. Thank you. Have a great night.
And happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday, Mike.